So, in closing, what would you say to a younger, emerging generation of writers? And not that you're particularly old, uh, in terms of how they should look to find their voice. How should they, you have gone about this in such an imaginative and kind of heterodox way. What would you advise a younger, emerging generation of Asian Americans on how they should find their voice?
I love that question. When I talk to students, I teach fiction. When I talk to students, I often talk to them about finding their literary ancestors, and this can come in a variety of ways. It can mean, as it did for me, trying to find some writers who like demographically overlapped with me, like Hanif Qureshi or Salman Rushdie. But it can also mean reading beyond sort of your identity category and finding people whose just sense of self, aesthetic, voice resonates with you. And that's what I found in writers like Zadie Smith and Philip Roth. So I think one thing that is really nice and helpful is to read beyond this moment. Don't just read contemporary fiction. Read contemporary fiction because you want to know what's going on now. But read fiction from 100 years ago, read fiction from 50 years ago, read mythological traditions. I think some of the best work that is being made today is as textured and complex as it is because it has an older language. Like it doesn't mean it's old fashioned, it's just in conversation with older literary traditions. And the more that you can draw on, whether it's like the mythology of where your ancestors come from, whether it's early novels from the 19th century, whether it's 20th century, postmodern metafiction, whatever it is, you can forge who you are from multiple traditions. And that is what has made me feel free to not just be one kind of writer, one kind of Indian American novelist. I just let myself run free on the sort of range of influences, and I think that's one of the best ways to feel like your identity belongs to you is to feel artistically free and read really widely, watch great films really widely.